Okay, we'll start. So last week we discussed about all four vargas, Shadvarga, Saptavarga, Dashavarga, and Shodashavarga. So these are all divisional charts grouped into four different groups. Shadvarga 6 group, Saptavarga 7 group, Dashavarga is 10 group, Shodashavarga 16. So total 16 Varga charts they made into 4 groups. So Vimshopaka Bala, Vimshopaka means in Sanskrit, Vimshopaka is a 20. So each divisional chart is given some points based on the planet position in any house that gets the points. So then we can decide the strength of the planet. So last week we discussed up to here. Then we start next shloka. Adhanyadapi vaksheham maitreyatvam vidharaya khetaha purna palam dadyusyuryat saptamake stitaha alabhavam vijaniyat same surya navachare madhyen anupatat sarvatra hudayasta vishopaka.
Sir, Ravi sir joined the call.
Yeah, he joined. So here Maharshi is saying about the sources from the Vimshopaka Bala only. So Maitreya, there are other, Maitreya is a disciple of, is a Shishya of Parasara. So he is saying everything to him. So he is saying to him, any planet from sun, it gives the full results. It is very effective. So any planet sitting opposite, that is a 180 degrees from sun. What is saying, one with an identical longitude in comparison to the sun will destroy the good effects. Means if the planet is sitting too near to the sun, will destroy the good effects. Rule of 3 process is applied to the planet in between these positions. We need to see clearly the planet away from the sun is immune to loss of rays and can express itself fully. Means if the planet is away from sun, the sun rays will be not interfere the planet effects. So suppose one planet is sitting opposite 180 degrees away from sun, that means the sun rays are very far away. So that's why it gives its own results fully. So that 180 degrees, suppose planet is moving towards sun, the distance between sun and the planet is reducing. Slowly it gets destroy of its effects. That's why planet goes to very near to sun. It is called combust. Combust means the planet rays, it won't visible to where we are sitting on Earth. That's why the planet effect will not be there. Everything is taken over by the sun. So this need not to be literally misinterpreted that the one not being in the 7th from the sun will be ineffective. For example, we have a Ubhayachari and other yogas in which case a planet other than the moon is related to the sun by close positions. This doesn't mean that these yogas will not fructify. If a planet is eclipsed in the sun, it proves impotent. This applies to Venus and Saturn as well. Against to common belief that these two do not lose race even if combust, and hence are free from astangata dosha. This suggestion is only for Ayurveda calculations and rectifications of planetary race. Please see the following table for degrees of combustion. So that's why when the planet will lose its energy when nearing the sun. So moon will be, say, combust whenever it is 12 degrees, within a 12 degrees from sun. Mars is 17 degrees, Mercury is 14 degrees, Jupiter is 11 degrees, Venus 10 degrees, Saturn 16 degrees. So that's why within these degrees, the planet gets combusted. So these are all the points you need to remember whenever we estimating the strength of the planet. And all we know that Rahu and Ketu, they are not physical bodies. So that's why they don't have any combust or any other things. So Rahu Ketu should not be treated as combust, although they may be longitudinally close to the sun, but they are only mathematical points. On the contrary, they eclipse or obstruct the sun. A basic phenomena is combustion is the planet combust does not helically rise during the period of combustion, but it is set. So the eclipse time, what will happen? Sun and moon, they will not visible to the earth, whatever eclipse. The moon eclipse, moon cannot see by the earth. So, but these will, Rahu Ketu is a phenomenal points, the axis intersection point. So that's why they will not get any combustion things, but they will give the impact on the sun and moon. They can stop the rays of the sun and moon. Next, Varga Vimshopakam Gneyam Palamasya Dvijarshaba Yacha Yatra Palam Budhva Tat Palam Parikititam Varga Vimshopakam Chadha Udayastamataha Param Purnam Purneti Purnam Syat Sarvadaivam Vichintayet Heenam Heeneti Heenam Syat Svalpe Alpa Atyalpakam Smrutam Madhyam Madhyeti Madhyam Syat Yavadasya Dashastitihi. So what are you saying? After assessing the Vimshopaka strength through all the various divisions, the rising and setting of the planets be considered. The Vimshopaka strength is classified as Purna, Atipurna, Madhya, Atimadhya, Heena, Atihina, Swalpa, Atiswalpa. So these are the 7 categories. This should be classified the Vimshopaka strength and the Dasha period results declared accordingly. So the Vimshopaka Bala, what is the meaning is the Vimshopaka Bala of any planet will be the how the planet is going to result. Even the planet is involved in any yoga in any house, but it will fail giving any results related to it if it is not having sufficient strength. The sage uses 8 distinct terms to classify the effects of the Vimshopaka strength. I have used the same original terms for the sake of identity, while the table given below with percentages of effects due to the various grades will enlighten the student as to what these terms imply. So the same Atipurna, the Vimshopaka points is 17.5 to 20. So percentage 87.5 to 100%. So you can see the table. Purna, Ati Madhya, Madhya, Swalpa, Ati Swalpa, Hina, Ati Hina. So Ati Purna means a planet is exalted. Purna, planet is in Mitra. Sorry, Adimitra. Planet is in Ati Madhya means Mitra station. Madhya is a Swakshetram. Swalpa, Shatru Kshetram. Ati Swalpa, Samakshetram. Swalpa is a Samakshetram, I think. Ati Swalpa is a Shatru Kshetram. Hina is Ati Shatru. Ati Hina is debilitate, complete debilitated. So they given the depend on the position of planet, the strength is categorized. The percentages given by me are numerical assignments for a comparative study so that an idea is gained of the gradations originally suggested. Anyway, these are all we see in the softwares. So we can go there and see how much strength of each planet is having. Saptavarga, Dashavarga, Shadvarga, Shodashavarga. Now next. Sir, Ravi sir, if you want to add anything?
Sir, Sir is still in call. He just joined. You continue it.
Okay. Next shloka. Athanyadapi vakshami maitreya srunu suvrata lagna turya sviyatam kendra sanya visheshataha dvit pancharandra labhanam gneyam anaparabidam trishashta bhagya aripana amapuplo dvija lagnat panchama bhagyasya kona sanya vidhiyate षष्टाष्टव्यय भावानां दुस्संज्ञा त्रिकसंज्ञका चतुरस्रं तुर्यरन्ध्रं कथयन्ति द्विजोत्तम स्वस्ताद् पचयर्षयानि त्रिषडयाम्भराणि हि. So these are the classification of signs now. See, there are 1 to 12 signs. So 1 to 12 signs, the Kendras. Kendras means 1, 4, 7, 10. They're given the some name to identify easy because these are the pillars. Kendras means centers. Centers means pillars of the chart. Next is the 2nd and 5th and 8th and 11th are Panaparas. And next is succeedents, 3rd, 6th, 9th, 12th are called apoklimas or cadents. 5th and 9th from ascendant are known by konas. And evil houses. Evil houses is a trika houses. We are called trika houses, which are very bad houses as far as concerned for chart. They are 6th house, 8th house, and 12th house. Next, Chaturasras. Chaturasra is the 4th and 8th house. 3rd, 6th, 10th, and 11th are called Upachayas. So this is a classification of all 12 houses. So these are all, everyone who is looking for charts, because the coming shlokas, in the next chapters, whatever Rishi says, he gives only that Kendras, Panaparas, Apoklimas, Konas, Trikas, Chaturasras, Upachayas. The names, he used these words. So whenever he use Kona means we should understand this is 5th and 9th. So that's why the classification is mentioned here. So we need to Mostly everybody should by heart these. You need to keep in mind every time. Next, तनुर्धनम च सहजो बंधुपुत्रारयस्तदा युवती रंध्रधर्माख्यम कर्म लाभ व्ययाः क्रमात् संक्षेपेन तदुदितम् अन्यद् अद्भुतनुसारतः किंचित् विशेषं वक्ष्यामि यथा ब्रह्म मुखात् श्रुतम्.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sir, continue. Now this shloka.
Yeah, names of the bhavas. The 12 houses are Thanu, Dhana, Sahaja, Bandhu, Putra, Ari, Yuvati, Randra, Dharma, Karma, Labha, and Vyaya are in order the names of the houses. I explained these briefly and leave it to you to grasp more according to your intelligence. As delivered by Lord Brahma, some further information is added thus in the following verses. Notes: each house is given special name for easy identity. The indications are known as Tanu is physic, Dhana wealth, Sahaja younger brother and sister, Bandhu relatives, Putra progony, Ari enemies, Yavati wife, Randra longevity, Dharma religion, Karma acts, Labha gains, Vyaya expenditure. Randra actually means a vulnerable or assailable
Assailable.
assailable point. A planet in eighth becomes vulnerably placed. The various houses in nativity are related to various spheres of life. Chapter 11 deals with the houses in the context. So he is clearly mentioning eighth house as a vulnerability. Whatever the planets placing in the eighth house will struggle hard. Why he mentioned means eighth house is we need to constantly update. If you stop updating, it will spoil the whatever the properties at that point where you stop. So we constantly need to upgrade. So upgrade need to happen in eighth house. Whatever the planets in the eighth house, in whatever the bhavas they are holding, we need to constantly update. So we should maintain that frequency. We constantly need to check. So he given all the 12 houses. So there is like fourth house is Bandhu he given. So it is also Sukha, Matrusthana also they will call us. So Bandhu. Ari, enemies he mentioned. Shatru Runa Roga. Now we are reading as Shatru Runa Roga. And Randhra is longevity. So longevity, we are also dealing with not only longevity. We are also reading it as others capitals. Whatever the capitals, we are getting inheritance. We are getting coming under Randhra. So dharma religion, karma acts, labha profits, gains, and friend circle also. Vyaya expenditure. So that's also.
Yes. Yeah. Next to shloka. Navame api piturjnanam सूर्याच्छ नवमे अथवा यत्किंचित् दशमे लाभे तत् सूर्यात् दशमे भवे. तुर्ये तनौ धने लाभे भाग्ये यच्चिंतनं च तत् चंद्रात् तुर्ये तनौ लाभे भाग्ये तच्चिंतये ध्रुवम् लग्नात् दुच्चित्य भवने यत्कुजाद् विक्रमे अखिलं विचार्यं षष्ठभावस्य बुधात् षष्ठे विलोकयेत् पुत्रस्य च गुरोः पुत्रे जायाया सप्तमे भृगोः अष्टमस्य व्ययस्यापि मंदा स्मृत्यौ व्ययेऽपि च यद्भावाद् यत्फलं चिन्त्यं तदीशात् तत्फलं विदुः ज्ञेयं तस्य फलं तद्धि तत्र चिन्त्यं शुभाशुभम्.
Okay, sir. Indications from houses. The ninth from the ascendant and ninth from sun deal with one's father. Whatever effects are to be known from the 10th and 11th counted from ascendant, be also known from similar houses counted from the sun. Whatever the results are to be known from 4th, 1st, 2nd, 11th and 9th should also known from the 4th of the moon, from the moon sign itself, and 2nd, 11th and 9th from the moon respectively. Whatever has to be known through 3rd from the ascendant, we also analyzed it through 3rd from Mars. The 6th from Mercury be also considered in regard to indications derivable from 6th counted from the ascendant. The 5th from Jupiter, the 7th from Venus, and both 8th and 12th from Saturn stand for consideration respectively in respect of offspring, spouse, and death. The Lord of Bhava is equally important when estimating the indications of particular Bhava. So, in this para, he mentioned that we are all checking from the ascendant. We also want to check from the other planets too. Especially for sun, he mentioned so many points. So, not only ninth house from ascendant, but also we need to check from the sun also. For moon, he mentioned the 4th house. From ascendant, see the 4th house. And also from the moon, we need to see 4th house. And 8th and 12th from the ascendant, and also need to check from the Saturn. And for Venus, 7th house. Not only from the ascendant, count from the Venus also, the 7th house. So like that, he mentioned in this above para. So next para is we notes. We get the important. Sir, just we get important clues from the above 5 verses. It is not enough if the house considered as counted from the ascendant is strong and well disposed from the prosperity of the house. Such a house from the signifying planet should also be strong. For example, one will enjoy paternal happiness if the 9th from the ascendant and 9th from the sun are both well disposed. The 9th from the sun is if occupied by a debilitated planet, or if 9th lord from the sun is weak, then the good indications through Pitru Bhava are neutralized. Now see a gist of slokas. Father to be considered from 9th, both from the sun and lagna. Point number A. Point number B. 10th from lagna to be correlated with the 10th from the sun for patrimony, paternal rights, etc. 11th from lagna to be correlated with 11th from the sun for gains and for father's longevity, as 11th is the 3rd from the 9th. The 4th from lagna and from moon are related to mother. The ascendant and the moon sign relate the physical facility of native and general strength of radix. The second point number F, the second from the ascendant and from the moon to be investigated about one's sight, speech, learning, wealth, etc. Point number G, the 11th from ascendant and from moon for gains, elder brothers and sisters, etc. The 9th from ascendant and from the moon for general fortunes, religion, meritorious activities, etc. The 3rd from Mars and from the ascendant be seen from the co-born, courage, etc. The 6th from the ascendant and from Mercury for diseases, debts, enemies, cousins, and the like. The 5th from the ascendant and from Jupiter for obtainment of progeny, their well-being, their prosperity, etc. For a female, 9th from Lagna and from Jupiter in connection with children are to be scrutinized. The 7th from Lagna and from Venus for marriage, its nature, consequences, duration, etc. Both 8th and 12th from both Lagna and Saturn for death. From this, it will be seen that each of the 12 houses is related to some specific planet apart from the ascendant. These rules are very highly suggestive. Here, the Rishi not only told to consider Bhava from the ascendant, he also told about the Karakas of particular houses and count from there also, from that planet also. I have seen these things, so many Rishis decoded their subject by including so many things. As I see in Agastya Samhita, Agastya given example I'm telling, Agastya given how to make a battery. In that he mentioned that the items need to use. In that he mentioned peacock neck. Peacock neck he mentioned to make a battery. So here we need to see, we should not bring peacock neck. The color of the peacock neck is in the color of matching with copper sulfate. So in order to decode that, there is no name for copper sulfate in that time maybe. So he mentioned that peacock neck. So many people try to decode that Agastya battery with bringing that peacock neck of live animal, live bird. But here, the peacock neck is copper sulfate. So like that, many Rishis used so many words to confuse us. Okay, these things should go to a proper person who is having that maturity and that calmness and patience about the subject. So there will be more confusions like this, but we'll stick from the ascendant. Okay, first we'll learn from the ascendant, then we'll see from sun, moon, Venus. So we'll stick with the ascendant. Sir, you add your words, sir.
Yeah, this is a most important point because whenever reading any chart, so 9th house we are looking for father, your bhagya, your religious, your long-term goals and long journeys, so many things. But what is saying Maharshi, if you want to see the father related things, you need to see from sun also, not just from Lagna. See 9th house from sun also. You take any Karakatvas of any houses out of 12 houses, 12 houses have each different Karakatvas, bhavas. 4th house we see house-wise, 4th is a mother, but planet Karakatva is a mother. moon. So you need to see from moon. Fourth from moon also shows the mother's situation. So that's why he mentioned all the karakattvas here: father, mother, wife, spouse, brother, enemies, and putra pautra means sons and everything, like 8th house and 12th house. Your suppose 8th and 12th house, Ayush, 8th is Ayush, 12th is a Vyaya, your expenses. So need to see from Saturn, because Saturn is a karaka for your Ayush as well as your expenditure. So these are all very important points to keep always in mind and before reading any chart and any aspect you are going to read a house. Because in our group you see, right, every so many questions will come. When is marriage? How is the marriage life? You need to see 7th house from Lagna as well as from Venus. So it shows the indication what is going to happen. Regarding Santhanam, see from 5th house from Jupiter as well as from Lagna. So all these points are given, you need to see. So with this, now we are completed the chapter Varga Vivekadhyay. So
We'll
we start.
start in next week, sir. Chapter 8.
Chapter 8. This
Next
is
week.
Rashi Drushti. If you have any doubts, people can
Any
come
discussions?
and ask.
Further discussion.
Sir, can you go to 98 page, sir, where combustion chart is mentioned?
98.
This one?
There is chart, a combustion chart.
Combustion.
Below,
Come
sir,
down.
99. Come down.
Come down. Yeah. 100.
Sorry.
Yeah,
100.
combustion is in direct motion.
Sir,
In reverse
here
motion.
Mercury,
Yeah.
combustion degree is 14 degrees. Direct. In my chart, it is 12 degrees. Still, I can treat it as a combusted with Ravi.
Yes, within up to 14 degrees. From sun to this Mercury within a 14 degrees means 0 to 14.
Okay, 0 to 14. Because retrogression, it is mentioned up to 12, right?
Yes, when Mercury suppose in retrograde motion, then up to 12 degrees taken as a combustion.
Okay, sir. My doubt is clear. Thank you.
Because this is 14 degrees, suppose you take sun is a center. This 14 degrees both sides, left side 14 degrees from sun as well as right side from the sun 14 degrees. Not just one side, you need to see both sides. So that means if you take overall the span of retro combustion degrees, left 14, right 14 means total 28 degrees.
Okay,
so that's why whenever Mercury goes into combustion, right, it's almost around 1 month. The 28 degrees, each day one degree, 28 days around. Saturn 16 degrees. So 16, 32. But Saturn movement is very slow, Sun movement is very fast. So that's why Saturn retrogression sometimes 2 to 3 months. Depend on.
Many people posed a question after listening about combust planets. what is the effect of retrograde combust? So combust itself is burning out, whether it is retrograde or straightforward, whatever it is burning out. The planet is getting burned. So whatever it is, if it is retrograde motion or straightaway motion, whatever it is, so it will not give any things. So sun will take in charge of the bhavas ruled by that planet. So sun need to give. So the bhava which is ruled by sun, the results of that bhava is making to burn the bhavas which is ruled by retrograde combust planet. Okay, combustion means it is burning out, whether it is retrograde or straightaway, whatever it is. So that's all, sir. That's all I need to add.
Yeah, retrograde. What is the meaning of retrograde? Whenever the planet comes to very close to Earth, very close. That is you can say lowest distance between the Earth and that planet. So obviously, whenever the planet comes to very near to the Earth, the effect of that planet will be very high. Normal case. That's why retrograde planets is a destined to give that planet is whatever is carrying the characteristics of the house and its home. That should be must. You need to experience the person. But now retrogression plus combustion. Now sun is very clear. But problem is whenever sun is combustion means everything, all the rays of the planet will not reach properly to the Earth because sun rays will do the overdominate. How you see right in the sky during the midday, you can't see any stars in the sky. The total sky is filled with only sun rays. Our eyes cannot see more than that. The same way, even planet is nearby, but the Earth is not able to receive the planet rays. That's why the effect also will not give its individual. Now the sun will take over. Sun will give that planet whatever is combustion. So accordingly, we need to say the results. Combustion is C. If it is a friend, like Jupiter is a friend, Moon is a friend, Mercury is a friend to Sun. So these planets, what will happen? He will give because they are friends. Suppose the enemy planets like Saturn, Venus, and other planets. Rahu Ketu, anyway, we are not taking any combustion into. But these planets, what will happen? They are enemies as well as combustion. So definitely there will be, the effect will be in a negative manner. Again, you need to see the friendship, temporary friendship, and natural friendship. So what type of enmity between them? Sometimes in the particular chart, they become friends. But naturally they are enemies. Sun and Saturn natural enemies. But in one sign they may be friends as per the chart condition. So depend on situation and depend on the chart, the result will be modifies. So combustion and retrogression is need to see very, very, very carefully.
Any other questions, sir? If no questions, we'll close.
Yeah. Next 8th chapter will start. Actually, this is an interesting one. This touches Gemini system. We'll talk next week. So any doubts? You want to add anything?
We can take it as yes or no questions.
Yeah.
Nobody asking. We can conclude.
Stop recording.